Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Manasa, Assistant Professor from Institute of Aeronautical Engineering, Hyderabad. So we are talking on the topic gender inequality and women's empowerment. So in continuation to the last class we have studied, the statistical survey on different aspects we are dealing with. So there are topics. Like selected indicators of gender disparity. So in which fields of the uh, uh, education or the work or which type of the indicators are they leading to the gender disparity, and the next one is what is the access or the control over the available resources. So their access, women's access or the control over the different resources, and the role of a woman in making a decision. So this is one of the topics we have dealt, and then freedom of movement. So till now we have studied these three. So we are going to deal about the freedom of movement, and then acceptance of gender unequal norms. So today let us discuss about all these, and then move forward. So how different areas of the fields by statistical survey, uh, what are the things happening, let us see. So in the previous class, we have studied like selected indicators of disparity in this section, gender disparity in the literacy, and gender disparity in the secondary education school competition, and then gender disparity in the media exposure, and employment, and another, it is one other way of disparity, and and majority of the employed women are engaged in the agriculture work. So the role of women in the agricultural work. So these are all different fields where the gender disparity is happening. So we have discussed about all these factors in the last class. So if we come to the one of the factor, that is employment, we have already discussed that there is a very less number of the women who are employed. Uh, but the percentage very low. So it is at least the men are two times more than compared to the women. So that we can see here clearly from the graph. And among the employed, 64% of the women are earning for the sake of the earning cash. So 64% of the women are involved, whereas 91% of the men are involved in productive earning, or the um, money means that they are getting the money, and female shares of the populations employed for the cash in non-agriculture occupation is 22%. So that indicates that the most of the women, uneducated women or the rural women, are involved much in the agricultural field. So the remaining only 22% are involved in the other non-agricultural occupations. And so coming to the women engaged in the agricultural work, we can see when compared to the other fields such as professional service or the production, the women involved in the agricultural field is very high. That we can see as the 59%. So this is very high, whereas the men's distribution in the agricultural work is only 32%. So from this we can say that women are the most part of the agricultural field. So that is a higher percentage of women are involved in the agricultural work. So, coming to the statistical survey, whether does employment empower women financially or not? This when survey has conducted, then 20% of the married women said that they earn at least as much of as their husbands, whereas only 24% of the men said that the employed wife earned at least as much as them. So 22, it means that 22-25% of the people have the wife and husband have the equal payment of the um amount when both are working. So, coming to the next factor, what is the control over women's earning? So, mm, this report says that and this is a woman's opinion, and this is a men's opinion on the control over the money of wife's earning. So if you can see, the 24% the woman is taking care, but both husband and wife together will carry the highest, means maximum percentage, either it is 57 if it's in the woman's opinion, or maybe in the women's opinion is almost 63%. There are some percentages where only husband is dealing with the money, while wives are the women. The earning it is almost 15 to 16%. We can say. Then coming to the statistical survey on are some women more likely than others to not to participate in the use of their earnings? So, though woman is earning, whether she is likely participation in what about her earnings, or which way they are they are spent for the expenditure. So whether she is aware of these things or not, if you can see the statistical data, so we can see that the age group of 15 to 19 are they 40 to 49. So at the age of 15 to 19, that is like teenagers, if they are working, most of the people are not participating in the use of their earnings. So that may be holded over by their family members, either mother or the father or whoever the higher authorities of the family. And coming to the higher age of the woman, only 13% of the women are not likely, means the rest of the women are they are taking care of the things what they are doing with their earnings. So only less number of the people who are not aware of the money what they are earning, in which way they are spent. Then coming to the residential wise, so rural women mostly are not aware of the money that they earn, in which way they are spent. So than the urban area. So most of the urban women are knowing, means they are knowingly spending the money, so they know how to manage this their earnings. So coming to the education. The people without education or illiterate people are a high amount. The percentage of the women who are illiterate are not focused on their earning, means though they are earning, that is given to the dependent person in the family, or the maybe the elder person in the family, so that is high, whereas educated people are not, very less number of people do not know where their earnings are going. So, in coming to the wealth index, the lowest wealth index means people having the less money. So, the higher percentage of the women who are not aware of their earnings is in the families having the lowest wealth index. So, if you can see this, mainly the lower age women and the women in the rural or uneducated women are depending on the family members to take care of their own earnings. So in which way the spendings are going, or how money is managed. So here we can see that the rural and the uneducated are depending more on the other family members, so as to deal these things. Then, coming to the other factor, do married women have the access to any other financial resources other than their earnings? Do they have, means if they are not earning also, do they have the access on the different factors? So, how many women are participating in a decision how husbands' earnings are used? So, it is seen from the data that almost 68% of the people are participating their earnings, means earnings of the husband. So, how they are managing the husband's the money or earnings. And have money which they can decide how to use. So how many of the women are independent to use their money or the husband's money? So that is 45% of the people have the knowledge, or they themselves are using to for their purpose of different usages. And only 50% of the women have the hold on our the husbands or the family members saving accounts, and then they can access their uses for their uses. And only 5% of the women are holding over the paying of the loans or the microcredit card or so. So this is the percentage. So we can see that so many of the women are involved in the expenditure spent on the husband's earnings. So this is almost 68%. So coming to the so today coming to the topics, the woman's decision in woman role in making a decision. So let us see the statistical data on how the woman's decision is taken as a prime important. So when the question is asked for the woman, do married women participate in other household decision making or not? So coming to the different decisions such as own health care. So let us think that her own healthcare is needed. So how many of the people are involved? So make decision alone or jointly with the husband. So whether it can be individual decision or the families together decision. So when it is coming to the taking care of the health of the person, so 62% of the people or the women are involved in making the decisions. Means that 62% of the women are open to tell their opinion that they need the health care. And making major household purchases. So how much percentage of the women are involved in making the major household purchases? So that is 53% of the people are involved in major household purchases. And coming to the daily needs, so most of the people, women only are involved making purchases for the daily household uses. Almost 60%. That means women has much idea about the household things, and then they are involved much in that. And the number of people women visit to her family or relatives, it is 61%. And the people who are involved in all these four are very less. Only 37% are able to manage all these. And it is very pity that 21% of the people are not involved in any of these things. That means they are 100% dependent on the other persons in the family. And everything, whatever they want, even small things, they will be depending on the family members, and their decision is not considered or taken to account, so as to uh, go for some things or doing some like purchases also. So it is still the people are there like this, and they won't consider the wife or the woman's decision to carry the things that to be uh, done for the family. So, older women are much more likely than younger women to participate in household decisions, because as you grow old, you have the role of a mother or the grandmother also. So, you become the one of the household prime members. So that time the decision is taken into the consideration as you go, grow older. So most of the older women are involved more in the decision making than the younger age women. The differentials by other characteristics are very small, and however, less than half, even the oldest, urban, more educated, employed, wealthier women, let us see, participating in all four decisions. So, if you can see this statistical data, how many of the women of age group or different factors are involved in making a decision. So coming to this data, so when we see the people with the age group of 40 to 49, that is almost the young age, or the coming to the secondary level of their age. So 46% of the women are involved in making the decision, and in case of urban areas, 45% of the people, means 45% of the women are involved in the making the decision. So when it is coming to the 12 plus years of education, so that is at the, means almost 30 to 40 age or so. So only 41% of the women are involved in the making the decision, because at this transition stage, either they may be newly depending on the husband, or they are still under the control of their family, father or the mother, family members. So at that stage of life, the chance of own decision may not be is necessary. And coming to the employed woman, in case of employed women, though they are employed and earning, only 39% of the women are allowed to take the decision. And in coming to the wealthiest families, 45% of the women are involved in making the decision. So it says that from all the different areas of concern, less than half, even the oldest, are urban or more educated or employed or wealthier, the all participating in all four. The people involved in all four decisions are very, very less. So coming to the next factor, freedom of movement. So whether the woman is able to go alone to some places, or she herself can do some things alone without assistance of any other family member or support of some other person. So if you can see the statistical study of this, so what the question is asked is, the percentage of women at the age of 15 to 49, whether they are allowed to go alone or not. So this kind of question is taken as a consideration, and then for different places like so at this age group from 15 to 49, they have studied the statistical data of so how many of the women are going to the market alone. So that is 51% of the people are able to go for the purchasing alone to the market. And how many of the women are able to go for the health facility, or take their own diagnosis or the consultation with the doctor without any help of the other family members is 48%. Only 48% of the people are able to go to the so and so, whether it's the diagnosis or the doctor consultation or etc etc. So only 40%. Then coming to the places outside the village or community. So if it is coming to the far places, or the coming going to the remote area, so whether the woman will be able to go alone or not. So if you can, when they studied this, is almost 38% of the people are able to go alone to the remote areas. And the people who are involved in all these three are only 33%. So the women who are completely independent are very less. And it is very pity that there are some people still involved, still are there, who cannot go at least to the market and then alone for bringing some vegetables also. So there is some percentage still existing, that is the 4% of the people which they are not involved in any of these three to go alone and then do their work. So, though the ratio of women being involved independently are growing, but still there is some the negative side that the people who are unable to go to the even to the outside of the home are still there. So it is not that the people are have got the complete freedom or they are able to move at least outside. So there are still the bad points are there. People who are not willing to go outside or they are not allowed to go outside. It may be both cause out of her own decision or of a family's decision. So the majority of the women have little freedom of movement. Only one third go alone to all three destinations, that is market, health facility, and outside to the villages also. Only this is 33% is one third of the um, people who are able to go. And let us coming to the topic. What are the some of the hurdles that prevent women from attaining the gender equality? So why this is not happening? Equality is not happening completely. Why still there is a lag behind the scenes? Why means though women have the access to and go for everywhere and get educated, so though all facilities are given, why there is a lag or the backdrop of the women who are not completely educated or who is not unable to go outside or who is completely dependent on the family though she is earning. So why these type of the questions are coming? So why there is no 100% equality, that is not happening at all in the society, is the factors such as the limited freedom of movement. So, though some people allow their family members, that the female person in the family, to go out or to purchase something or to get something, but still they have something called the limited freedom, that is they have some boundaries. So you should not go after this time, or it is not safe to you go to this place alone, or you are not allowed to travel to the long places alone, or you are not allowed to spend 3 or 4 days outside the home. So there are such kind of boundaries. Like the woman has got the freedom to go out and move out, walk, go, get, and participate in all things, but she has some boundaries to this extent and this extent. So but there is no 100% open that she can go anywhere and do her own things. So this is what happening. And gender norms that promote men's control over women. So this is what happening. So where though the woman is going or doing, she is under the control of some men. So like you have to report or do, or you like someone will assist you to go to this place only till this time, means not allowed after that time or to over higher distances also. So this National Food and Health Survey asked women and men questions about the norms regarding. One is in case of the married woman, whether wife beating, is it means will it be a factor? Means what they got the replies is whether it can be uh, there, or how people are, whether they are thinking that yeah, it's okay, we can beat, or like what is the opinion of men and women. They have surveyed and then brought the statistical data. Let us see what the data is telling. So the percentage who agree that husband is justified in hitting or beating his wife, whether he says that okay, it's a justified purpose or so. So there are different factors, so that can be opinion of the both men and the women. So coming to one factor, when she shows the disrespect for in-laws. So what men say that 37% of the men are saying uh, if she is beaten because of the showing disrespect to the in-laws, and 44% of the women are agreeing this, and he suspect she is unfaithful. So this case of the unfairness and the faithfulness comes in the family between both the men and women. So it is almost 24 or 25%. So this may be the one of the reason. And when she doesn't cook properly, so 13% of the men are agreeing that when she not cooking properly and she gets beaten, and the 20% of the women are saying that the husband beats them then when the cooking is not proper. And when she argues with him, so 76% of the men are saying when the argument is when she argues then this happens, and the women are saying so it is more when we argue, and then they hit and neglect the house or the children. So the people, uh, 29% of the men says that when the woman or the wife is neglecting the house or the children, or the 35% of the women are saying yes, they get fight or the beating happens because when they neglect the family or the children, and they goes out without telling him. So 23% of the men are agreeing that when she goes out, and then we both fight, and then 29% of the women are agreeing for this. And so coming to the at least one or the other reason about the all, so if they have at least one reason for these, so both are agreeing the cause of the factor is due to either one of the reasons to get hit or the beatings. So men and women both agree. So the percentage who agree with at least one reason for wives beating is age between 15 to 19 age. 53% of the women are accepting or agreeing, and 57 of the person. I mean, so these percentage of the women and the men, they are saying that they get beaten because of one of the factors. And in urban areas, 44% of the women says, and then 43% of the men are saying. So in urban areas, 44% of the men are women are agreeing, and in 43% of the men are agreeing. And 12 plus years education, the women having 12 plus education also are get beaten 31%, and 34% is due to this is men's opinion. This is women's opinion, and the women who are employed for cash. See, the women who are employed for cash are more in the threat of having the fightings, and then 62% of the men are saying that if the woman is employed for the cash, and then they have some other clashes. And in wealthiest families also, the 37% of the people are almost 32, 35 to 37% of the people are having the this kind of beating or the fightings at home. And highly urbanized states such as Delhi, so which is highly educated and means most proper kind of state. There also 32% of the or 28 to 32% of the people are getting means they have the family issues and getting beaten by the husband, or they have the issues. So what this overall report says is Although the urban, uneducated, employed, and wealthier persons are less likely to agree with the vibes beating, these characteristics are not sufficient to supplant beliefs in gender inegalitarian norms. So, though we can see that here percentage is less, here less, and here less, it doesn't mean that they are coming towards the gender equality or highlighting the woman. So it is a remarkable count that though they are wealthiest family and a very organized place, or they are educated, still these kind of perceptions are the domination of a man or the women are still existing. So this is what this report is saying. So what are the key findings from all of these statistical studies, having taking the different factors such as freedom of movement or decision making, women's role in the decision making, or what are the different kinds of the gender discrimination. So what we are finding is the main point is women are disadvantaged absolutely. She's disadvantaged absolutely and relative to the men in terms of access to education, media, exposure, employment, forecast. So she's absolutely down in compared to the men in access to all these, either it is education or the media, or they going for the employment. And majority of the married women do not have the final say on the use of their earnings or all other household decisions asked about. So they are not like particularly defined, or like their decision is this. So instead they depend on the family members, and though earnings are of their own, but their decision will be of both. So they cannot be the first person to make the decision. And traditional gender norms, particularly those who are concerning about the wife beating, and remain strongly untouched. So, though the people are getting educated and moving towards the educated policies, but still they have that gender, the domination also. They feel that it is the beating is one of the factor. It's like this cannot be changed, so it is strongly untrust still is remaining, though in the wealthiest families or highly educated families. So this is the pity factor that the gender disparity is continuing all over the places, though the education is becoming more and access to the various scopes are allowed. So till now this is the statistical data and the key findings that we are finding from the gender disparity or the gender unequalness. Thank you.
Like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.